So something that we say a lot at Gap Relief is that all behavior is a form of communication. And so oftentimes, whether we're working with kids or we're looking at adults, there are certain things that we can see with our eyes that might tell us a story about how that person might be feeling or what they might be experiencing. And oftentimes what we can see with our eyes is only a part of the story. And so a lot of the work that we do, we say, is we're trying to help give eyes to see or give new lenses for the people that we're engaging with to see those around them, so that when they see a certain behavior, the story they're telling themselves is, hey, let's stay curious, let's stay present, and that maybe the first thing that I'm seeing with my eyes is not the full picture, not the full story. So this is something that we see a lot, specifically in working with our TEARS program and the teachers and the educators that we work with. We know that they are in the classroom day in and day out and see all kinds of different behaviors and responses from the students that they're serving. And the difficult thing there is that oftentimes they may not know fully the backstory or what's happening to the student before they walked in for the day, what they're going home to, things like that. And so they may see a student get really dysregulated or get frustrated or even kind of pull in and be quiet. And oftentimes our first instinct is to just try to get the kid kind of back on track. Get them to maybe be doing the thing that it feels like we're trying to accomplish, whether that's working on a lesson or we're going to PE or whatever that might be. And so something that we really encourage in those spaces and try to hand the new lenses for is, hey, what might this behavior be telling me? Like that might be different than what my eyes are seeing right now. And so maybe a student that's curled in and is not wanting to get up to go to PE is experiencing anxiety because the night before she had to stay in a different place than where she expected to stay or planned to stay. And just some curiosity in those spaces can open up a new story, and we can see that, hey, actually her response in that place makes sense on a different level than what we might see initially with our eyes. And so obviously there are numerous and kind of unending examples of what that could look like or what that could be like. That can be, a kid that has escalated behavior and maybe they're being unkind with a friend or a little too rough on the playground or something like that. Might have some extra anxiety or extra energy in their body that's coming from frustration that they're experiencing at home. Or maybe just anxiety of, I don't know where I fit here, and I don't know how to build good relationships and connections with friends. And so that's coming out behaviorally. So oftentimes there's a lot more that's happening than what our eyes can see. And so a couple of things, just if you find yourself in a position to be engaging really on the other side of any human, but kind of specifically looking at kids, is first just kind of being aware of yourself and how am I entering into the space. And so is my nervous system regulated? Am I grounded? When I notice that there's a certain behavior that's happening in front of me, just being curious with myself and, hey, what's that doing to me? Maybe taking a couple deep breaths and being aware of my own regulation, so that then the next thing there, so that I can stay curious, like kind of stay in a posture of curiosity with the person in front of me, open-minded. And so maybe my first response is, hey, I'm noticing that you're feeling really angry. Can you tell me about that? And inviting that person to confess or share more with you. And then the third thing, and specifically working with kids, is a lot of us are not taught to pay attention to the signals that our body is giving us and what those might mean. So we're not taught to notice that, hey, my chest is getting tight and I'm pretty frustrated. Or, hey, I'm really, really sleepy and I'm wanting to lay my head down, and to be curious with what that means. And so connecting with kids and helping them to become more and more aware of their own body and what their body might be telling them. And so whether that's, hey, like as they're experiencing these behaviors, hey, what are you noticing in your body right now? Or helping them just to scan and notice those things even in places of calm, so that they become more aware of their system over time. There are a lot of great resources out there for that that can help you in walking kids more towards connection with themselves. But what we find is just the more we're connected to ourselves, the more curious we are, and the more that we foster experiences of connection for kids with their own body, something new can happen in those places when we see with new eyes.